A small boat carrying a highly dangerous payload is approaching the eastern coast of the United States. If the cargo explodes, it could plunge the entire country into crisis. The Coast Guard and helicopters immediately order those on the boat to turn back. They have no idea what's inside. A teenage boy aboard the boat approaches a bomb and prepares it for detonation. Moments later, a nuclear explosion occurs.
Recap camp.
A little farther from the shore, Evie and her children witness the explosion. Malcolm, upon seeing it, immediately calls his wife and tells her to pack up and head to her brother, Ian's house. Evie and her eldest daughter, Emma, quickly gather the first aid kits and head to the car. They place blankets over their heads to avoid inhaling the air, get in the car, and leave their home. Ian learns about the situation from the television. He lives in a large mansion surrounded by numerous farms where they can be self-sufficient for months. Elsewhere, Jeff, a close friend of Ian's, is packing up with his family. Jeff is a former military officer, and he and his group are heading to Ian's house to help protect it. Abe, Jeff's eldest son, doesn't take the situation seriously. He thinks everything's over after just one bomb, but Jeff is convinced more bombs are coming. Jeff's group gathers and heads toward Ian's estate. Tara, Jeff's wife, who used to work in military intelligence, informs him that power has gone out in all the coastal cities of the eastern US, and it's likely the work of the Russians. They reach Ian's place without incident. Ian tells them the power is out there too, and the generators aren't working properly. He shows Jeff all the surrounding land, and they discuss how to defend it. Jeff warns that Ian's estate is likely the best prepared location in the region, which means many people might try to come, and they'll have to defend themselves. Meanwhile, the battery on Evie's electric car is dying, and all the charging stations are out of service. They stop at a gas station and find an abandoned gasoline-powered car. Evie and the kids quickly transfer their stuff into it and get in. Just then, the car's owner shows up and tries to stop them, but fails. Back at Ian's estate, Jeff and his group are fortifying the house. As days pass, more families arrive. They gather outside Ian's gates, hoping to be let in. While Ian is taking inventory of the remaining food, a government agent arrives and tells him he must surrender all remaining weapons and food supplies to the state. Ian refuses, saying the food came from his own land. The agent warns that if Ian doesn't comply, he'll return with a task force and take it by force. Ian holds his ground. Jeff hears about the threat and suspects the agent has a real strike team, but Ian thinks it's just a bluff. The next morning, one of the farms is attacked. Jeff investigates and finds a warehouse completely burned down, exactly what he had warned Ian about. Ian hadn't believed it would happen. Jeff tells Ian his men aren't properly trained and need more preparation. They run a training drill the next day, and most of Ian's men are killed. Jeff was right. Ian agrees to further training. Later, Jenna, Ian's wife, decides to give a small amount of food to the people outside the gates. Chaos breaks out immediately, and soldiers struggle to rescue her and the others. Ian and Jenna realize they don't have enough food to last through winter. They keep this secret to avoid panic. Jeff is organizing patrols for the surrounding land. Abe volunteers. His mother objects that she doesn't want her child holding a weapon. But Jeff believes Abe is capable. Tara is angry but can't stop it. Jeff finds a drawing by his young daughter Georgie, which she had drawn the explosion before it happened. Jeff doesn't know whether he should tell Tara about it. During Abe's first shift, 2 armed men enter their territory, but they're only hunters. Abe sees them and tries to warn them with a loudspeaker, but it's broken. They fire a warning shot. The hunters don't understand and use their rifle scopes to look toward the hill. Abe thinks they're aiming at them. Jeff orders Abe to fire. Abe shoots, injures one of them, and the other flees. They rush the wounded hunter to the infirmary, but despite the doctor's efforts, he dies. Abe is in shock. He hadn't been sure they were just hunters, but now he's responsible for the death of an innocent man. Days pass. A rat infestation destroys the wheat storage, making the food crisis even worse. One of Jeff's men suggests they take control of the compound before Ian loses it completely. Jeff still trusts Ian, but knows that if things go on like this, no one will survive the winter. Jenna urges Ian to share more food with the people outside, but Ian says doing so would only doom the ones inside. He forbids her from doing it. Evie and her kids finally arrive. Malcolm joins them as well and tells Ian and Jeff that he saw emergency management trucks on the road, which they're taking over towns and will likely come here soon. Ian orders more food to be distributed among the people, but days pass with no sign of the emergency response teams. Evie privately tells Ian that Malcolm has been on medication, but because of the crisis, he's run out. Before she finishes speaking, Jeff hears over the radio that 2 trucks are approaching. A military vehicle emerges behind the trucks. Jeff alerts everyone, and they immediately take defensive positions. The vehicle nears the front gate. Everyone scrambles away. The commander steps out and warns everyone to surrender immediately. Ian recognizes him. He's one of his friends. The commander is surprised to see Ian. The government agent steps out of the car, and Ian explains to the commander that the agent has caused a misunderstanding and that there's nothing illegal going on here. Seeing things aren't going his way, the agent pulls out a gun and shoots Ian. Jeff and his team open fire, and several people are wounded. The commander orders a ceasefire. Jenna rushes to Ian, who is bleeding heavily. Jeff takes Ian to the infirmary. Ian remains in a coma for weeks before finally waking up. Jenna tells him that she ordered everyone outside the gates to be let in. Contrary to Ian's fears, doing so didn't doom them. It saved them. The newcomers managed to set up a greenhouse farming system, and now they have enough food to last through the winter. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do.